In this video, we will discuss about the circulatory system of petromyzin. If we see the components of circulatory system of any organism, any animal, then these components may be heart, blood vessels and blood. Heart, blood vessels and blood. So in case of petromyzin, these three components are also heart, blood vessels and blood. These are the three components of CV system or cardiovascular system or circulatory system of petromyzin. So first we will talk about the heart. Heart of petromyzin comprises of two main chambers and two accessory chambers. The two main chambers are single atrium and single ventricle, while the two accessory chambers are sinus venosus and conus arteriosus. Blood vessels of this petromyzin comprise of the arterial system and venous system. Arteries always take away the blood from heart and venous carry back to the heart. In case of blood, it has two components, that is the RBCs or red blood cells or red blood corpuscles and WBCs. The RBCs are nucleated and then there are WBCs or leukocytes. RBCs, they perform the function of transport of gases, and WBCs, they play role in defense of the animal. So first we will discuss about the heart. As we already know that there are two chambers of the heart of petromyzin, and those two chambers are atrium and ventricle. So if we see the shape of the heart, and it is S shaped. It has two chambers. One is highly muscular, ventricle, that is single. This is ventricle. And one is atrium, it is thin walled. Why is atrium thin walled? Because it has to pump the blood only to a nearest chamber which is physically very close to it. And ventricular wall is very thick because ventricle has to pump blood to the entire body of the organism. So it has to make more efforts. The atrium and ventricle, these are connected with each other through an aperture. That aperture is atrioventricular aperture, and it is guarded by atrioventricular valve, the AV valve. Atrium and ventricle, A for atrium, V for ventricle, AV valve, AV aperture. Now, in between the depression of these two chambers is present the sinus venosus. The accessory chamber is present here, sinus venosus. It is sinus. Sinus means space, spacious chamber or space, simply space. Venosus, pertaining to vein, V for vein. venosus that carries blood back to heart. So this one is one accessory chamber, another one is this. It is conus arteriosus. Conus arteriosus, it has semilunar valve. It is non-contractile. This one is also non-contractile, but the atrium and ventricle, these two chambers, are contractile. So this is the heart of Petromyzin, which is S-shaped. This completes the S. So this S-shaped heart. Here semilunar valves are present, which prevent the backflow of blood, and here these are present the AV aperture, and also the valve which prevents the backflow. These are connected to chorda tendini. So this is the heart of Petromyzin. Now we will see the blood vessels. First we will talk about the arterial system and then the venous system later. Blood vessels, this has two components, that is arterial system and the venous system. Okay, in order to see the circulation and this network, we have to draw the outline of the animal. This is the animal. Cyclo means circular, stoma means mouth, circular mouth, Petromyzin. So here are present the 7 pairs of gills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pairs of gills are there. So on the ventral side, posterior to the last gill, this is gill slit, and these are present in gills. Gill slits are present in gills. Gills are pouched in case of this organism. Pouched gills, so marsupial respiration is there. So here in this region, behind the 7th gill and on the ventral side, its S-shaped heart is present. This heart has two accessory chambers. One is sinus venosus and another one is conus arteriosus. This one is ventricle. This one is atrium. So we will see how the network of arterial system is arranged. From this ventricle, deoxygenated blood is pumped into the conus arteriosus, which is not well developed. It has semilunar valves, and from this conus arteriosus arise the aorta, which is on the ventral side. So this one is ventral aorta. This ventral aorta moves anteriorly, and in the branchial region near the pharynx, it gives rise to 7 pairs of branchial arteries. Branchial, which are supplying to branchium or gill, are branchial arteries. These are 7 pairs, 7 left and 7 right, branchial arteries. And those arteries 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. And those arteries which are entering into the branchium or gills or pharynx, are afferent branchial arteries. These form the capillary network in the branchium or in the wall of the pharynx, and these leave the pharynx in the form of efferent branchial arteries. E for efferent, E for exit. Efferent branchial arteries, and these join in lateral aorta. Lateral aorta, left lateral aorta and right lateral aorta. Two lateral aortae are present. This one is left lateral aorta, and on the right side the 7 efferent branchial arteries coming from the right side, they join this right lateral aorta. I am making them in dotted lines. These lateral aortae, they run anteriorly and divide in the form of carotid arteries which supply to the head region, and these run posteriorly and join to form dorsal aorta. This dorsal aorta moves posteriorly up to the tail region. From this dorsal aorta arise several branches which supply to the myotomes or muscles of the animal. These are segmental arteries. These segmental arteries, in the epithelium of these segmental arteries are present some cells known as chromaffin cells, and these chromaffin cells secrete adrenaline like substance. The second name of adrenaline is epinephrine, and in humans epinephrine is released as a hormone from the adrenal medulla, and it switches our body to fight or flight mode. And what it does actually, this causes dilation of blood vessels in the muscular region. It causes our brain to become alert. It activates our reticular activating system, our pupils dilate, our heartbeat increases, and the contraction of the ventricles also increases in response to epinephrine. So in case of this animal, these chromaffin cells which release adrenaline like substance that causes the dilation of those blood vessels which supply blood to myotomes or muscles so that it can move faster, it can get better blood supply for locomotion. That's why this adrenaline like substance is released in the blood near segmental arteries, in segmental arteries. So this comprises of the arterial system. Next is the venous system. This venous system comprises of caudal vein which starts from the tail region. This caudal vein bifurcates into cardinal veins, left and right cardinal veins, and these left and right cardinal veins they come anteriorly, they collect blood from the body muscles and from this posterior region, and these cardinal veins join together in the form of common cardinal, and that common cardinal pours the blood into sinus venosus, the accessory chamber, sinus venosus. It is common cardinal. And in the same fashion, anterior cardinal veins collect blood from anterior region and they also join the common cardinal. These are posterior cardinals, left and right posterior cardinals, and these are left and right anterior cardinals. In addition to this, there is present hepatic portal system. The arteries which are collecting blood from the gut or intestine, those arteries enter into the liver, and from liver these are intestinal arteries, intestinal veins, intestinal veins join into the liver, form capillary network and leave from the liver in the form of hepatic portal vein, and that hepatic portal vein also joins sinus venosus. This one is sinus venosus, and these have their own little heart. This system has own little heart, portal heart, that aids this heart in pumping the blood, portal heart. This is hepatic portal vein. Intestinal veins, hepatic portal vein. In addition to these, there are spaces in the bronchium or in the pharynx. These spaces are filled with blood. This blood is collected from these sinuses, bronchial sinuses, and it is supplied back to the sinus venosus. And in case of blood, we have already discussed that the blood comprises of RBCs and WBCs, red blood corpuscles and white blood corpuscles. RBCs are nucleated, while WBCs, these are also nucleated, they have their different functions. WBCs work in defense, they are defense cells, while RBCs, they have hemoglobin and they function in transport of gases.